It feels like my life is, I don't know, it's really confusing right now. It's like things are falling apart while coming together, while falling apart at the same time, while coming together. And that in itself can be really discouraging, because it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And I know that the overall picture for me is just learning how to surrender. And this is coming from a control freak. I had to control life around me to make sure that my environment was peaceful enough. So I'm sure you know where that goes, or that whole concept in itself. I'm not going to really get into it for real, but I just wanted to give you a foundation. So now it's like I'm being put in this position to where I have to make decisions within myself that is more so beneficial for me than anybody else. And it's a empowering, but at the same time a challenging place to be, because you fight with the part of you that's so used to controlling things, so used to making sure that other people viewed you in a certain way, to keep the peace. And then you're also battling society as far as like how you feel about yourself, because not you personally, but this is my experience, but I'm just verbally processing, right? So it's like not necessarily having a brain fart, but it's weird to talk about this stuff out loud and then posting it for everybody to see. But anyway, I'm being put in this position to where I have to create a life that's for me and no one else. And I'm like I was saying, I'm battling with the part of me that wants to make everyone else happy, that wants to make sure people feel good about me and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily fair to me, because now at this point I am most likely contouring myself, cutting myself up to be put in a box by society and by, not necessarily by people around me, but by their own ideas and their own teachings, their own concepts, their own beliefs. I take it as my own because I want to stop saying that too, but I am developing my own sense of self. And that in itself is a lot. Because you're meaning to tell me that everything that I once knew isn't true for me. It may be true for someone else, but not for me. I am learning through my relationships. Now I gotta learn through the world, like stepping out into the world again. And it's a really exciting place to be, but at the same time, again, I'm transitioning, so I'm slowly letting go of my old thinking patterns while still experiencing them in different ways. They don't just disappear. Like, let's be honest. They don't just disappear like that. But it's good to notice them. And when, like, especially right now, I am learning how to allow life to do its thing instead of trying to control life itself, because now it causes me to be really rigid. It causes me to be really boxy. Now, here's the thing, balance in all things. I don't want to be too flowy to the point where I lose touch with reality, but then at the same time, I don't want to be too boxy to the point where I can't enjoy my life or just allow myself to be not necessarily stress-free, but allow myself to surrender. And that whole topic in itself, surrendering, is like, sometimes I get surrendering and sometimes I don't, because the concept of surrender is so abstract for me. And so I always need to pull it down. Like, it can't just float up there for me. It just can't be a spiritual concept for me. What's the point of you teaching me that? Or what's the point of me learning from life about surrender when I don't know how to act in surrender? Because I think surrender is a verb. It's not a thing. It's a verb. It's an action. Don't just tell me surrender and don't tell me how the hell to do it in everyday life, because I still gotta wake up. I still experience life. And so surrendering for me is like placing boundaries where I need to with myself and others, and letting go of what someone else may say or what that boundary may do to the world around me. Of course, I think out my boundaries. My boundaries is for my protection at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with the other party, or it has nothing to do with the other halves of myself. So let's just say you gotta place a boundary with someone you know, and let's just say you stop, I don't know, going to the club. However they feel after you place that boundary, whatever they do has nothing to do with you. That's what I mean by surrender. You cannot control things outside of you. You can only control yourself. And there's other ways to surrender. I'm still learning, because again, surrendering is really abstract to especially someone like me who wants to, again, control every damn thing because of fear. So yeah, And it's like, I know what's going on, but then at the same time, it's kind of like learning how to be okay with not knowing what's happening next or what's going to happen next. Being okay with not being able to prepare myself. And then I realized that for me, the reason why I overthink so much is because I try to prep myself for the unknown when I don't know what's going to happen for a reason. Life is unpredictable. You can't guard yourself from every aspect of life. That reminds me of childhood development, where you can't necessarily shield your child from falling all the time. Because if you stop them from falling, they don't know how to get up on their own. They don't develop that healthy ego. They don't develop resilience or persistence needed in life. You, in essence, cripple them. They become, like me, developmentally arrested. And I'm not saying this and claiming it, oh yeah, I'm just, you have to be honest with yourself in order for you to figure out solutions, take your time, and move forward. So sometimes you have to admit that there are certain stages in your development that you didn't receive what you needed. So you become arrested in certain areas of development, or you become stifled, crippled, whatever word you want to use. And at first I used to feel really bad when I would hear a lot of content creators talk about that, especially individuals in the personal development field, in the self-mastery field, sector, whatever you want to call it. Even my old mentor told me that I was developmentally arrested. And I felt bad. But then it's like, is it really your fault? No. You can't necessarily blame yourself for that, but now you're aware of it. How can you change it? How can you fix it? You're responsible for that. You can blame Tom, Dick, and Harry for your trauma. Cool. But now how are you going to move forward? Because it's only but so much blaming outside of yourself you can do. But it's really easy because I fall into it all the time. Until a few days later, I'm like, damn, did it again. And I believe I posted a short about that. Having to not necessarily start over, but make your mistakes and love yourself through it. Or if you're in a place where it's like, okay, I can't necessarily say self-love. I don't really like myself right now. And when I do make a mistake, I'll beat myself up for it. I judge myself for it. I get it. You have to get to a place where you're neutral. You're not good, you're not bad, you just are. You don't hate yourself, you don't love yourself, but you're just here. That's better than beating yourself up and judging yourself all the damn time for being human. And I posted a reel yesterday about that too, or a short about being human. And I know for me, when I hear, oh, we're spirits having a human experience. I get that too. I totally get that too. We're energy and emotion. We come from this big ball of love that wanted to experience itself, and so it split itself off in many versions of itself to experience itself. I get that too. But sometimes I feel like we forget that we have to still move and operate in the very world that we created. There was a content creator that popped into my reality. I don't remember his name, but I watched a video where he explains this, to where we are so spiritual that we lose all common sense. He was using this example of his from his story, his personal experience, to where he picked up a homeless person and took him where he needed to go, gave him money, all of that, just for the homeless dude to show him why he shouldn't have did it. Now, I don't honestly, like, I live in a busy city, and so homeless people are rampant. I just don't randomly give out shit anymore. No. I was traveling one day, and this homeless person was asking for water, asking for money. Yeah, I had money on me, I had water on me, but did I give it to him? No, because I had a full day ahead of me. I had to sit through a test for what, 3-4 hours? I needed it. That may seem selfish, but guess what? Oh, goddamn well, I needed that shit. Even if I didn't drink it, I needed it. Because that test was a motherfucker, right? So that's just an example. That doesn't make you a bad person when you use your common sense. He also used this other example, to where he said, you know, you have to practice small talk. Oh my God. This is something that was brought to my attention a while ago about small talk. You need small talk in order for you to get to the interesting stuff. And he said, that's like you going up to a drug addict and telling them that they're God and they're a part of this big whole and they could do better. They don't want to hear that. They either want you to give them money or give them drugs. They don't want to hear nothing outside of that. They don't give a fuck. They don't understand it. Right? So, I get that. So now, for me, I'm that type of person too, where it's like, I'm tired of small talk, but I understand now why it's important. I just can't get into deep feelings and stuff like that with people when they don't fucking know me. They don't know me. Why would I do that? And I get it. Like, I get it. It pisses me off because of my patience, my tolerance, but I gotta get over it. So it's a learning experience and a learning curve. It's full of ups and downs. It's full of trips and falls and mistakes. And when you notice that you do these things, there is no point in being judgmental or kicking yourself in the ass internally, or allowing your inner critic to tell you that you could have done better, or that you can't do a certain thing because you're not perfect. That voice is useless in the means of telling you that you can't do something because of whatever the hell. Useless. If you want to grow, right? Or if you want to change, whatever, we have to learn how to tune that shit out. Or not even tune it out, but like realize that it's useless sometimes. Like when you want to write a poem, or you want to draw, or you want to sing, you want to do something creative, artistic, whatever it is, and you don't let yourself do it because you feel like you don't have the right ideas. I relate to that because that's something that I have to work through my whole life. I just can't not do something because I feel like I don't have the knowledge to do it. I can't not speak my mind because I feel like I haven't went through life enough. Sometimes I do that to myself. There'll be some times where I'll have a video and I'm just talking, expressing myself, but I delete it because I feel like, Naja, what are you talking about? You have no life experience for you to be rambling like this. And I delete it. Just for me to find a video that explains the very thing I was talking about, probably in a different way, but that was the very thing I was talking about. That inner critic stifles you. And I'm not telling you this because I've grown out of it. No. I'm telling you this because I live it every day. You don't know how many videos I delete because of it. Come on.